Okay, let's dive right in. Picture this. You're a kid, high school maybe, playing baseball. It's everything. Then, one swing, not even a pitch, a bat connects with your face. Hard.
Oof. Yeah.
Suddenly, it's chaos. Sirens, flashing lights, a helicopter ride. You wake up in a hospital totally confused. This actually happened to the author whose work we're digging into today.
Really dramatic story. He ended up with multiple facial fractures, a broken nose. His eye was literally bulging out. Doctors were seriously worried about his vision long term.
Exactly. Life just stopped. He was stuck at home, seeing double for weeks, a complete pause button on everything. A really brutal way to learn about setbacks.
And what's fascinating and really sets the stage for his whole philosophy is his mindset after. He admitted he wasn't exactly a star player before the injury.
Right, sort of average, he said.
Yeah, but despite that, and despite this horrific injury, he still believed he could become great. And crucially, he realized it was up to him to make it happen. That shift, from feeling like a victim to taking ownership, that's huge.
It really is. And that takes us to college. Denison University. A chance for a fresh start, right? Away from all that high school drama and the injury.
He even joined the baseball team again, though he started right at the bottom of the roster. And it was there, during that period of rebuilding, that he started figuring out this incredible power of small, consistent improvements.
The things he eventually called atomic habits. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack for you today. We're going deep into the core ideas from his book, Atomic Habits.
Yep, breaking it down, making it super understandable, almost like explaining it simply.
Our goal is to pull out the absolute key insights and, more importantly, the practical steps you can actually use, starting like right now, to build good habits, habits that stick.
So let's talk about that core idea, these atomic habits. At Denison, he didn't start with some grand plan for baseball dominance. He started really small. Basic stuff,
Like what?
like focusing on getting good sleep, keeping his dorm room tidy, simple things.
Okay, but making your bed. How does that connect to hitting a baseball? Seems unrelated.
Well, that's the interesting part. These small acts, they gave him a sense of control. In the midst of feeling maybe a bit lost after the injury, tidying his room was something he could control. And that feeling, it started building his confidence back up.
Ah, okay. Like small wins creating momentum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. That confidence didn't stay confined to his room or his sleep schedule. It, spilled over. His grades improved dramatically. He got straight A's his first year.
Wow. So tidying his room actually helped his academics.
It's a powerful example of the ripple effect, right? Tiny habits in one area boosting your belief and performance in totally different areas. It wasn't just tidying the room, it was the feeling of agency it created.
That really makes sense. And this isn't just some fluke, this idea of small improvements having massive results. Our source material points to the British cycling team. Remember them?
Oh yeah, under Dave Brailsford.
Yeah.
Incredible turnaround.
Right. And his whole philosophy wasn't about finding some magic bullet. It was about, what did he call it? The aggregation of marginal gains.
Marginal gains. Basically, finding tiny 1% improvements in absolutely everything they did. Training, diet, yes, but also things you wouldn't even think of.
Like what? Bike seat comfort, pillow types.
Exactly. The ergonomics of the bike seat, the best massage gels, even teaching riders the best way to wash their hands to avoid getting sick. Just tiny tweaks everywhere, 1% better.
And the results were just staggering.
Completely staggering. You look at the Olympics in 2008, 2012, they dominated. Gold medals galore. Then you have riders like Bradley Wiggins, Chris Froome winning the Tour de France multiple times, all stemming from that relentless focus on tiny improvements.
It's such a clear illustration of that 1% better every day idea. Those tiny gains, they seem insignificant day to day, but they compound over time.
They really do. But, and this is important, the compounding works both ways.
Ah, right. Bad habits compound too.
Definitely. Those little choices, skipping a workout here, eating junk food there, hitting snooze, they seem harmless in the moment. But over weeks, months, years, they add up. They compound against you.
The book uses a great metaphor, like time is a magnifying glass. It just amplifies whatever you feed it, good or bad.
Which brings us to a really key point.
Mm-hmm.
If this stuff is so powerful, why is changing habits so darn hard sometimes? We all want to change, often.
Yeah, why do we struggle?
Well, the book argues that if you're having trouble changing, the problem probably isn't you. It's not usually about a lack of willpower. It's your system.
The system, meaning how we approach the change.
Exactly. Bad habits repeat themselves over and over, not because you don't want to change, but because you have a system that encourages the bad habit or makes the good habit too difficult.
Okay, that's actually kind of freeing. It shifts the blame from I'm lazy to my approach isn't working.
Precisely. It means you can fix it by fixing the system, not by somehow becoming a different person overnight.
Okay, so if the system is key, how does that relate to who we want to be? The book talks a lot about identity, right?
Yes, a huge connection. The core idea is that habits aren't just actions you perform. They are fundamental to shaping your identity. They are how you embody a particular identity.
How does that work?
Think it like this. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So every time you go for that run, you're casting a vote for, I am a healthy person.
Or every time I write a page.
You're casting a vote for, I'm a writer. Each small habit reinforces your desired identity. It's proof.
So it's a two-step thing then. Decide who you want to be and then prove it.
Essentially, yes. Step 1, decide the type of person you want to be. What qualities, what values. Step 2, prove it to yourself with small wins. Accumulate those votes through your habits.
And you don't have to be perfect, right? Just win the majority of the votes.
Exactly. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about building a body of evidence for yourself that says, yes, this is who I am becoming. New identities require evidence. Habits provide that evidence.
I like that. Identity votes. Makes it feel more achievable. Okay, let's get practical. The book lays out this framework, the 4 laws of behavior change. Can you break those down?
Sure, it's a really elegant model. Basically, every habit follows a 4-step loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. Always in that order.
Cue, craving, response, reward. Got it.
The 4 laws are essentially rules for hacking this loop to build good habits. Law 1 is make it obvious, deals with a cue. Law 2 is make it attractive, addresses the craving. Law 3 is make it easy, focuses on the response. And Law 4 is make it satisfying, that targets the reward.
Okay, let's take them one by one. Law 1, make it obvious. How do we make the cues for good habits more apparent?
This is all about the trigger. If the trigger isn't obvious, the habit won't happen. A great starting point is something called the habit scorecard.
What's that involve?
It's simple, really. You just list out your current daily habits, everything. Wake up, turn off alarm, check phone, brush teeth, make coffee. You get the idea.
Just writing it all down.
Yeah. The goal is just awareness. You start to see the patterns, the things you do automatically without even thinking. Many habits are invisible to us. This makes them visible.
Okay, that makes sense. You can't change what you don't see. Once we're aware, what next for making things obvious?
Then you use implementation intentions. This is super powerful. It's about making a concrete plan.
How specific?
Very specific. The formula is, I will behave here at time and location. So instead of a vague, I'll exercise more, you say, I will do 20 push-ups at 7 a.m. in my living room.
Ah, removes the guesswork. You know exactly what, when, and where.
Exactly. It preloads the decision, making it much more likely you'll follow through. Another great technique is habit stacking.
Habit stacking. Sounds like building blocks.
That's a good way to think about it. You attach a new habit you want to build onto an existing habit you already do consistently. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit.
Give me an example.
Okay. Let's say you always make coffee in the morning. That's your current habit. You could stack onto it. After I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute.
Or, after I take off my work shoes, I will change into my workout clothes.
Perfect. You leverage the momentum of an existing routine to launch the new one. The key is picking a reliable current habit as the anchor.
Smart. The first law also mentions designing your environment. How does that fit in?
Our surroundings have a massive influence on our behavior, way more than we realize. Designing your environment means intentionally setting it up to make good cues visible and bad cues invisible.
So like putting your running shoes by the door.
Exactly. Or keeping a fruit bowl on the counter instead of cookies. Want to take vitamins? Put the bottle right next to your toothbrush. Want to practice guitar? Don't hide it in the closet. Put it on a stand in the living room.
Make the good stuff easy to see and remember.
And make the bad stuff harder. Trying to watch less TV. Maybe take the remote out of the living room. Trying to eat less junk. Don't buy it in the first place. Reduce exposure to the cues for habits you want to break.
So you're engineering your space to support your goals. What about context? Does being in different places affect habits?
Hugely. Our brain links habits to the context where we perform them. You sit on that couch, you automatically reach for the remote. That's context.
Right.
This is why it can actually be easier to build new habits in a new environment.
Yeah.
You don't have the old cues triggering the old behaviors. It's also why having dedicated spaces helps, like only working in your office, not on the couch or in bed. helps keep those cues separate.
Avoids confusing signals for your brain. Got it. Okay, law 2. Make it attractive. How do we make ourselves want to do these good habits?
This law taps into the craving part of the loop. We're driven by the anticipation of a reward, the feeling we'll get. So we need to make the prospect of doing the good habit more appealing.
And how do we do that?
One really effective way is temptation bundling. This is where you pair something you want to do with something you need to do.
Like mixing pleasure with business?
Kind of. The formula is, after I have it I need, I will have it I want. So maybe you only allow yourself to watch your favorite Netflix show while you're on the treadmill.
So the want becomes a reward for doing the need.
Exactly. Or after I clear my emails, I will check Instagram. You link the less desirable task to a more desirable one, making the first one more attractive because it leads to the second.
Clever. What else makes habits attractive? The book mentions social influence, right?
Absolutely. We are social creatures. We want to fit in. We naturally gravitate towards behaviors that earn us approval and respect from our peers. We tend to imitate three main groups: the close, family, friends; the many, our tribe, culture; and the powerful, people with status we admire.
So hanging out with people who have the habits you want makes it easier.
Massively easier. If everyone in your circle exercises regularly, it becomes the norm. It seems more attractive and achievable. Conversely, if your friends all smoke, quitting is much harder. Joining a group where your desired behavior is the standard is a powerful tactic.
Surround yourself with the right influences. What about our internal perspective? Can we make habits attractive just by how we think about them?
Yes, definitely. Reframing is key. It's about changing the story you tell yourself about the habit. Instead of focusing on the chore aspect, focus on the benefits.
Like instead of, I have to save money.
Reframe it as, I get to build financial freedom. Or instead of, I have to exercise, think, I get to build strength and energy. Shift from obligation to opportunity. The book gives examples like seeing meditation not as feeling when distracted, but as practicing the return to focus.
That little word change, have to versus get to, can make a real difference in motivation.
It really can. And another related idea is creating motivation rituals.
Rituals? Like before a big game?
Sort of. It's about doing something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit to make the start more appealing. Maybe listening to a specific pump-up song before you tackle a tough work task. Or doing a specific stretch routine you enjoy before a workout. It creates a positive association and helps you get started.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's move to Law 3. Make it easy. This feels like where the rubber really meets the road for consistency.
It absolutely is. Many habits fail because they're just too difficult, especially at the start. This law is all about reducing friction. The book makes an important distinction first, though, between motion and action.
Motion versus action.
Yeah, motion is planning, strategizing, learning. Like reading blog posts about fitness or researching gym memberships. Action is actually doing the thing, like going for a run or lifting weights.
And we often get stuck in motion, right? Feels productive, but isn't the real thing.
Exactly. We feel like we're making progress, but we're just preparing to make progress. Action is what delivers results. So the goal is to make taking action as easy as possible.
So how do we do that? Make action easier.
The star player here is the 2-minute rule. It's brilliant. Whatever habit you want to start, scale it down so the very first step takes less than 2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes? Seriously?
Seriously. So read every day becomes read 1 page. Run 3 miles becomes put on my running shoes. Do yoga for 30 minutes becomes take out my yoga mat.
Wow. Okay, that makes it almost impossible not to start.
That's the point. You master the art of showing up. Habits form based on frequency, not duration, especially early on. Once you've established the ritual of starting, you can gradually increase the time. But the 2-minute start overcomes that initial resistance.
That's a game changer. What else makes habits easy? Environment comes back in here, I bet.
You bet. Optimizing your environment to reduce friction is crucial. We talked about making cues obvious. This is about making the action effortless. Choose a gym that's on your commute.
Makes sense. Fewer barriers.
Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Prep healthy meals or snacks in advance so they're the easiest option when you're hungry. Remove steps between you and the good habit.
And the flip side, increase friction for bad habits.
Exactly. Want to watch less TV? Unplug it after use, or put the remote in another room. Want to stop checking your phone constantly? Leave it in a different room while you work, or delete the distracting apps. Make the unwanted behavior inconvenient.
Designed for laziness, almost. Make the good path the path of least resistance. The book also mentions gateway habits here.
Yeah, or decisive moments. These are those small choices that set you on a particular path for the next chunk of time. Like Twyla Tharp, the choreographer. Her ritual was just hailing a cab to go to the gym. That small action was the gateway. When she was in the cab, the rest followed.
So, like, putting on your running shoes is the gateway to actually running.
Precisely. Identify those small actions that kickstart a positive chain reaction and make those actions as easy as possible.
Okay, fantastic. Finally, Law 4. Make it satisfying. Why is this one important?
This one closes the habit loop. Our brain is wired to repeat actions that provide immediate rewards. If a habit isn't satisfying, we have little reason to do it again. The problem is, many good habits have delayed rewards.
Right. Exercise feels hard now. The health benefits come later. Saving money feels restrictive now. Financial freedom is far off.
Exactly. So we need to find ways to inject some immediate satisfaction into the process. A really effective tool for this is habit tracking.
Like putting an X on a calendar.
That's a classic example.
Mhm.
Or using a habit tracker app or a dedicated journal. The act of recording your success, marking that X, checking that box, provides a little hit of immediate satisfaction. It makes your progress visible.
And seeing that streak buildup feels good, motivates you not to break the chain.
Absolutely. It acts as a visual cue, it's inherently motivating, and it feels good to record your win for the day.
What happens if you do miss a day, though? Does the whole thing fall apart?
That's where the never miss twice rule comes in. It's crucial. Missing once is an anomaly, it happens. But missing twice in a row, that's the start of a new unwanted habit. So the rule is simple. If you miss a day, make it your absolute priority to get back on track the next day.
Don't let one slip become a slide. Progress over perfection.
Exactly. And related to that, the book warns about something called Goodhart's Law.
Goodhart's Law. What's that?
It basically says, when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. When you track habits, be careful not to become so obsessed with the metric itself that you lose sight of the real purpose, or even game the system in unhealthy ways.
Like focusing only on hitting a step count, even if it means just pacing around your room instead of doing meaningful activity.
Right, or sacrificing quality for quantity just to check the box. The
Right.
tracking is a tool to aid progress, not the ultimate goal itself. Focus on the behavior and the identity, not just the number.
Good point. Lastly, how can external factors make habits satisfying? Accountability.
Yes, accountability partners or habit contracts can add immediate consequences, which can be strangely satisfying, either the satisfaction of meeting the commitment or the dissatisfaction of failing, which you want to avoid.
So, telling someone your goal?
Yeah, just knowing someone else is aware and might ask you about it can provide motivation. A habit contract takes it further. You might agree on a specific reward for success or a penalty for failure, often involving money or some other stake. It makes the consequences immediate.
Okay, so we've covered the 4 laws. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. To really nail this down for everyone listening, can we summarize maybe the top 10 actionable takeaways?
Absolutely. Let's pull out 10 concrete actions based on these laws. 1, make it obvious. Start with that habit scorecard. Just list out what you do now. Awareness first.
Okay. Number 1, scorecard.
2, make it obvious. Use implementation intentions. Decide,
Yeah.
I will do what, at what time, and what location. Be specific.
Number 2, implementation intentions. Got it.
3, make it obvious. Use habit stacking. Link your new habit to an existing one. After current habit, I will new habit.
3, habit stacking. Like after coffee, meditate.
4, make it obvious. Design your environment. Make good cues visible, bad cues invisible. Put the running shoes out. Hide the cookies.
4, environment design. Makes sense.
5, make it attractive. Use temptation bundling. Pair something you need to do with something you want to do. Only watch Netflix while exercising.
Temptation bundling. Nice.
6, make it attractive. Reframe your mindset. Focus on the benefits. Change, have to get to, I get to build strength.
6, reframe with get to. Love that.
7, make it easy. Use the 2-minute rule. Scale down any new habit so it takes less than 2 minutes to start. Read 1 page, put on shoes.
7, 2-minute rule. Crucial.
8, make it easy. Reduce friction. Prepare in advance. Lay out clothes, pack your bag, chop veggies. Make the good choice the easy choice.
8, reduce friction. Prep is key.
9, make it satisfying. Track your habits. Use a calendar, an app, whatever. Make progress visible and satisfying. Don't break the chain.
9, habit tracking. Visualize wins.
10, make it satisfying. Get an accountability partner or use a habit contract. Add some immediate social consequences, positive or negative.
10, accountability. Use others. Perfect. That's a solid list.
It really covers the core strategies. And remember, The magic isn't in any single strategy, but in consistently applying them. It's about those small improvements, those atomic habits compounding over time.
Absolutely. It's not about overnight transformation. It's about the slow burn of consistency leading to incredible results.
Trust the process. Small changes really do lead to remarkable results.
All right, listen up. You've just gotten a serious download, a real blueprint for building the kind of life most people just, wish for. This isn't some wishy-washy feel-good fluff. This is about real, actionable systems that flat out work.
Yeah, grounded in psychology and real-world examples.
Forget about setting these massive, overwhelming goals that leave you feeling paralyzed before you even start. We're talking about tiny, almost ridiculously small actions that, when you do them consistently, day after day, deliver huge, undeniable results. It's the compound interest of self-improvement, plain and simple.
And the author's own story is proof. He used these ideas to overcome a massive physical and mental challenge. It's not just theory.
Now, you've got a taste, a powerful understanding of the core principles. But let me tell you, this is just scratching the surface. There's a whole damn book packed with even more strategies, real-world examples, and the solid science that backs it all up.
Deeper dives into each law, more nuances, troubleshooting.
Right. So if you're serious, and I mean truly serious, about taking the reins of your life, about finally breaking free from those self-sabotaging patterns and building habits that actually propel you forward, then your next move is crystal damn clear. Go get Atomic Habits. Read it. Highlight it. Implement it.
Don't just listen passively.
Exactly. Don't just sit there letting this information soak into your brain like a passive sponge. You need to take action and put these principles to work. Watch what happens when you do. You owe it to yourself to stop making excuses and start building the future you know you deserve. Now go do it.
Which brings us to maybe one final thought for you to chew on right now. What is one tiny habit, just one ridiculously small action that you can implement starting today?
Yeah, what's the absolute smallest, easiest step you can take right now, this very moment, that starts you down the path of becoming the person you want to be?
Don't overthink it. Don't wait for Monday or the first of the month. Just pick one thing.
One tiny vote for your future self.
Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, even if it's just for 2 minutes. The power, my friend, is in the doing. Start now.